and welcome back to the Pod Stars. We're gonna talk about favorite X-Men. You're gonna know a little bit more about these fuckers. I hate them. But whatever. We're gonna start with. Actually, let's start with Rob.
All right.
Who is your favorite X-Men? Your favorite mutant?
My favorite mutant. I mean, it used to be for a long time like Bobby and Logan. It used to be like Iceman and Logan, Wolverine. I feel like everybody picks Wolverine.
Well, I'm gonna shout out Bobby. Fuck Wolverine.
I like Iceman. Like when I was younger, like I used to watch a cartoon and stuff like that. I was like, oh, if I was a mutant, if I had superpowers, that'd be me. I'm like, hey, he's got the same name, Robert. Bobby was like, that's funny. He's funny too. I was like, oh, cool. And he uses ice. I was like, yo, that's totally me. Like I related so much to him growing up, and then like seeing him do the X-Men stuff like that. It was like always a strong character on the main team. Like every time I read him, it's like he's just fun. And like even now, like you see the younger version of himself and the older version of himself. The younger version's gay and stuff like that. I still love the character.
The Iceman is gay.
The Iceman's gay. Yeah, now he's gay completely. That's fine. I still
full on gay.
No, because there was 1 month that
yeah.
The younger Iceman was gay and the
And the
older
other one was
Iceman was straight, and the gay community lost their mind, rightfully so, because they were making it seem like
you could choose
to be one
They
or the other.
really screwed the pooch on that.
They fucked that up, and then immediately the next month, or what the next month? Yeah, they approached the adult Iceman, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gay," and you know.
I still like how they did it. I mean, like they're like, oh, I had to suppress that part of me because I was already an outcast because I was me, and I was like, I get it.
Right.
That's the thing. I don't like. I don't think that there's. It ruins every relationship he had up until that point.
I mean,
That's my issue. Like
they could have made him bisexual. He could say, "Oh,
yeah,"
but then like making it like the way it was written, the way Genix describes like, "Oh, he's full on gay," makes it sound like it's some sort of like disease. Like, "Oh, no, you got the full on gay, so you're there, you're already there." No, she says that. She says like you
full on gay.
Yeah, she says you're full on gay, and I'm like, that's just disgusting. Like, how?
I don't think she meant. I thought she meant like. Not,
I didn't think she meant it in that negative of a way.
I feel like
I see how it could be taken that way.
Like you're full blown gay, like
and the only reason,
like you're not kind of gay or like bisexual. No, you're gay, like you're homosexual.
But that just makes it sound like his relationships with women just doesn't matter.
I mean, I feel like who wrote that, Brian?
I don't know. It doesn't sound Bendis would do.
It was Bendis who wrote it, right?
I don't remember.
Because if it was Bendis is really good at imitating how. People, specifically young adults, talk to each other. And be honest, you would say that.
My brother and I had this running gag.
We would say that.
Like, oh, you're full.
You're full on gay, bro.
Yeah, like I'm like, so.
Like I know friends who used to be afraid of coming out, and then they kind of have the same thing. That like I knew him, like I thought he was straight, dated girls and everything, and he's like, you know what, man, I gotta say, I'm just like, I'm gay. I'm like, what? I was like, you were dating this person forever.
Did he come out to you like?
Yeah, but
not first. No, he came out to everybody else. I was the last on the list. Thanks. I mean, I guess
like,
I'm not cool enough. Thanks, bro.
The reasoning he said when he came out, I was like, I understand, and we're diving into this a lot, but
yeah,
my issue was like the love triangle that he had with
Polaris and
Havoc.
That
like if you knew. Well, again, he said
that Havoc's second husband?
Yeah, they had a love triangle because they both love Polaris, and Polaris goes back and forth with them. So it's kind of like Logan, Jean, and Cyclops, but for them.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's like Cyclops, isn't that favorite X-Men?
It's like
Segway.
It's like you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, if you were like, no, I'm into dudes, I'm just masquerading. But you saying that he suppressed it to the point that he kind of like
believed. I mean, maybe he was still attracted to women, and he still like had those feelings, and he just like.
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's your favorite character. He's I like him now.
I like and especially like when you saw his older self come back. Back on track on the Iceman. When you see his older self come back, and like he looks like this old ice wizard. I was like, that is so
Ice
cool.
King or something.
Yeah,
his name is
something like that. And like he can summon these ice frost giants everywhere and stuff like that. He can transform himself.
Isn't he secretly like an old man level?
Yeah.
Passes his own bullshit.
At the moment he isn't one.
But he can be, and will be in the future. Yeah. And now, as soon as he met his older self, and then like the whole issue with his sexuality, after that he's become stronger, more prominent in the X-Men, which I love. I mean, I love seeing that character. Now he can do different things with his abilities. He can turn into like this ice version of like the Hulk and just smash things, along with the tactical thing of sliding around.
You mean like X-Men Blue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's probably
both of them.
Both of them could do it. I think now. I mean, if one could do it, the other one should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I was younger watching like Spider-Man and Friends, like the really old show, and it was like Spider-Man, Iceman, and then like what was the chick? Firestar. And I remember watching it, I was like, oh, this is cool. I was like, to see them mixed together. So like he's always been like in my world. And, like every time I see him, like his solo series I'm reading, it's not that great, but it's not that bad either. I don't know. He's just my favorite.
There was a comic that I read that Emma Frost takes over his mind. Because I think like all the X-Men are incapacitated, he's the last one left. Mm-hmm. So she's like, "I'm not letting you do this," and she like how wires his mind and takes over his you know his powers and his like you know movements, and he starts decimating like everybody.
Yeah,
like freezing people's like fluids in their body, like just turning into vapor.
Yeah,
like
there's no limit to his power because it's all imagination.
Back to solid, back to ice, liquid, vapor. I remember that. Like, and going through, and I'm like, that's crazy.
That's
like,
the man right there.
Like Emma, just hijack everybody.
See their full potential.
Yeah.
Maybe I do Iceman for next Halloween. Not Halloween.
Do it.
Next
I didn't see Iceman in there.
No.
I could be the bearded one.
We saw 107 Harley Quinns, according to my friend Franklin.
I didn't.
You should have taken a shot for everyone. That would have been interesting. But you should have taken a shot for every Harley Quinn. That would have been interesting. Probably would have had alcohol
poisoning.
Trying
to kill yourself.
Yeah.
That Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick and Morty was everywhere. All right.
Who's your favorite X-Men?
Zach?
All right. So, believe it or not, I wasn't really into the X-Men when I was younger. Not that it wasn't interesting. It was just wasn't like my thing. You know what I mean? Like my thing was Spider-Man and all that stuff. Anyways, when I started reading some of the stuff you gave me, what was the Messiah Complex? I started thinking about it, like that whole series and all that. I started thinking about it, and I was like, I'm very partial to Warpath.
Yeah,
I do like Warpath. I like the way he fights.
Warpath.
Yeah, I guess there's two.
For people who don't know who Warpath is, because he's not a common, you know, X-Men like Iceman is.
I don't know. Who is he? I forget his real name. To be honest with you.
What's his power set?
But basically, I think it's invincible, if I'm not mistaken. It's like weird. It's not invisibility, but like
he has invincibility to a.
He's durable.
Yeah,
he's durable.
He has enhanced durability. Yeah. He has slight invincibility. Because if you look it up on Encyclopedia, that's what it says. To a certain degree,
he's like a super soldier, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
He's very like, strong, very durable.
Yeah,
he's like
very agile.
He's like Luke Cage to an extent.
Yeah.
Is he gifted?
He's gifted.
That's what I thought. So
really? I'll definitely watch the show now.
It's 2 episodes in. It's a good show.
Is it?
Yeah, well, when we're recording this, when we release this, who knows how many it's going to be.
True. What?
Yeah.
Facts. Sorry. Anyways, so yeah, I do like the way he fights. I do like the fact that he's from like Native American stuff like that because I like wolves and all that stuff. It's very cool. I like. What?
No, it's Native American.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Well, see,
we did so good talking about sex and that issue, and he went straight to Indian.
He's not really the politically correct person, and he just fucked it up.
No, because I'm like when you said that, I'm like, that's not the political correct. Completely backwards.
And this man is very politically correct.
I'm like, I was like, this guy. I was like, how dare he?
How dare he?
And completely.
It is the current,
Score one, Zach.
My bad.
Anyways, so yeah, I like the fact that he's very Native American and
he's definitely a cool character.
Yeah, I like him and the way his war paint, cool.
In the Messiah Complex, you see him heavily.
And it's
I see why you love him.
Yeah, exactly. And his main weapon is 2 big ass daggers. Tomahawk or daggers?
Tomahawks.
And I think Messiah Complex he had daggers.
Oh, was it daggers?
It's daggers.
It's daggers.
I've seen him use tomahawks.
Maybe, but
he might have because he's married.
In Messiah Complex, in that whole run, he had the
daggers.
The entire time.
Proficiency.
Yeah, he's great.
He's like at one point, like he comes out this like giant, like in Messiah Complex or one of the things comes out this giant like spirit bear, and he's like, oh, I'm coming.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
Oh no, Spirit Bear. That's in X-Force.
No, okay, X-Force.
X-Force, he's fantastic.
Oh, he's great, man.
He's coming out the Spirit Bear.
Great. He was just like.
I want to reread all the X-Force, man.
Like if he was a playable character in that game, Marvel Alliance, even though it wasn't that like it was ups and downs for that game for me, I would put it at him. No, Marvel Alliance.
Marvel Alliance.
Oh, was he not in Alliance? 2?
No, he definitely wasn't in Alliance.
No, he wasn't in Alliance. There's a lot of characters in there, but it wasn't.
So Miguel, who's your favorite character?
Same way. Cyclops.
So me and Einstein both have the same character, so I don't think we should be like, oh my god.
Oh, you're gonna say secondary character.
So,
I
who
like
are
him
your
for different
favorite?
reasons.
I mean, so I think we should both talk about him.
Who is it?
You know, because I'm not gonna be like, I like him for this stuff, and you're like, oh, well, I like him because, you know.
Scott Summers.
Yeah.
Cyclops?
Yeah, so Cyclops.
The door's right there. You
Yeah,
both could go.
Wow. You're crazy. Yeah, Scott Summers, Cyclops, the leader of the X-Men,
He's dead
for
now.
like 90% of the time.
I'm sorry.
Is my favorite character. And I liked him, you know, and honestly, the only reason I got into him was because he wore glasses.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh,
Oh, that's
he has
cool.
glasses? I have glasses. Might as well. I could, you know.
See, I can't knock that because I like the guy who
So
has the same name as me.
yeah,
And he's like, oh, you like ice.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
ice.
no, you know, when I was a kid, I'd be like, and my mom was like, what the fuck's wrong with your eyes? Like, you know?
Obviously something, Mom, but they're not working.
You know what's funny about my mom? She was very into the 90s series X-Men show.
Was she?
Very into it. She watched it with my aunt and everything. She was into it.
That's nice.
No,
Were you watching it or like was she? You were.
No, I would watch it with her. And my cousins would, but like
maybe
she was really into it. Like she was.
I don't know if we can do that. We might be.
Well, she actually watched the
series
second
called
series that came out on
Copyright.
Kids WB,
Yeah,
whatever.
the Evolution.
Yeah, Evolution. She
I
just watched that,
loved
but
it.
she didn't like it. She was like,
Yeah,
it's alright.
no. It got good near the ending when they got more adult like. But anyway,
Mm.
but yeah, so he was always my favorite guy. And then when I started reading the comics, I was like, this is a really good character. Like he's not like this goody two shoes like freaking Wonder Bread motherfucker.
Scout. Boy
Sorry
Scout.
for the bad words.
You could just say not like
Yeah.
Superman. You could
Yeah.
just say that.
He was
Wonder
like-
Bread, yo.
Wonder
He
Bread.
got real.
And he looked right at me too. I'm just saying. Wonder Bread, like, oh, all right.
No, I said sorry
Cinnamon
for
Toast
cursing.
Crunch, how about that? Jesus.
Damn.
What is
I don't know.
Well, it's
Breaking stuff?
I don't know.
that's what you get.
We'll
All right.
We'll find out
We don't have a lot of time left. Hurry up.
But
Tell-
yeah,
tell me
sorry.
what you like.
So yeah, he's
Wonder Bread
because
ass.
he's I don't know. He's conflicted. You know, he wants to walk this path of his adopted father, Charles. You know, but he has to work with what he has. You know, in the situation that he's in. He's dealing with a dude that's constantly trying to bang his wife. His wife constantly dies. You know, then he ends up hooking up with Emma Frost. And like, I don't know, just reading his stories, man, he always has these cool moments. And it's like, you expect Logan to be cool. You expect Gambit to be cool. I don't ever expect him to be
Cyclops.
cool.
The goody
you
two
know?
shoes of the.
And
They
then,
definitely
like-
have a lot of character development with that character.
You know, and then once all the mutants or 90% of the mutants lost their powers, that's when his character like went from good to like great.
Like House
Like,
of M.
Like House of M on.
That's when I started really getting into it.
I feel like he rivals. He could probably arguably be the best character for X-Men. Like when it comes to depth, like
To what?
depth.
Oh, Death.
Definitely character.
D-E-T-H.
Yeah.
You make fun of ice on? You can't say that? I'm just saying.
Well, he confuses trousers and pants.
Confuse them.
Confuse them.
I forgot about Magneto, but I know we're just talking about
I
heroes.
agree. Magneto.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Magneto is my number 2 because
Like-
I just said
As a character,
Yeah.
and like in the like Magneto's, you could argue he's the best X-Men character.
period.
Yeah,
He
you
is,
could,
for
you
me,
could argue
definitely.
that.
I mean,
you know,
with Bobby,
you
he's
could
my
also
favorite.
argue.
He's the most influential.
Yeah.
You could also argue Cyclops and stuff like that. You're never gonna throw Charles up there. Like no.
Well, he's been dead for like what 6 years now.
He might be coming back mid now.
No, but even if he wasn't, like, I mean, he's basically been the same forever, and
Yeah,
then
he-
apparently
he's
was a
never
douchebag
changed.
for you know, and doing some shady stuff in the background. But I don't know. That's why
Abandoning David.
So tell me
David.
why
Well, David.
your
It's
favorite
fine.
from Legion. It's fine. Tell me why Cyclops is your favorite.
See, around the same time that you saw my House of M, around the time I started liking him as well, like really getting into him because I was sort of like really getting back into comics. So Cyclops is the kind of character who makes the hard decisions. He makes the ones that Magneto makes, that Charles is afraid to make. So that's why when the Phoenix Saga happened and he kills Charles Xavier, and there's so many writers, maybe there was 4 writers writing 4 different Cyclops at the same time because they were transitioning from IVX into not IVX, AVX into like the regular run of the mutants.
Yes.
Right.
So you had so many characters writing him as like I completely understand what I've done. Yeah, the Phoenix Force is a godlike force and it influenced me to make decisions, but you know what? I allow these things to happen. I would not change what I've done. And I feel like that sort of ownership and responsibility of what he had done speaks to me as a person. Like as a human being in our like real world, that sort of character, that sort of fictional character influences my sort of mindset. It's like, you know what? If it came down to the wire and, you know, someone had to make the hard decisions and they had to take responsibility for what they've done, I would have to be one of those kinds of people. Like, I would love to be someone who's so knowing of themselves. Because Cyclops is not like the Marvel Universe. He's not liked by a lot of characters. After he had killed Charles, a lot of characters said, you know what, Cyclops has been a dick this entire time. We all hate him. And then after he had died, you had characters like Storm and Beast and other X-Men who were like, you know what, let's do the exact same thing Cyclops did, but be okay with it now. Because that's what the circumstances allowed. Like, Cyclops, like, before these things could take it to the point where it came to a head, he said, I need to make these decisions. Now all the other X-Men saying, okay, wow, they're not admitting he was right, but they're saying, you know what?
The job's a lot harder than they thought.
Exactly. Like, it's not as easy. It's not as easy as Charles made it seem. No. So Cyclops being someone who's that sort of headstrong is why I like him the best.
The world that Charles lived in when he was headmaster
is much different.
It was a completely different world than what
Cyclops,
like, because Cyclops took the headmaster roles literally what a couple of months before House of M. Literally, like the books fall line in line. He had decent situations for like a few months. And then just shit hit
and that was the time when he was still like the Boy Scout, you know, oh, I'm just following Charles. I'm just following Charles. I hate Magneto because he's not Charles. He's not Charles, and he's like killing people. He's a terrorist. We don't want that sort of like perception of the public to have on us. But as things change, like, you know what? Wow, these people do not like us. They will never want to be accepting of us. And same thing with like real world politics. Like there's situations where you find yourself, okay, well, wow, these people will never accept people who don't look and act like them.
Like later on in the X-Men comics, you have Cyclops who literally ends up teaming up with the person he hated most, Magneto. And in the more recent runs, you have Cyclops and Magneto running things together. And I found myself as a reader agreeing with a lot what they were saying. I was like, wow, first off, that team is awesome. They had a great team, a lot of cool mutants. And I was like, I agree with a lot of what they're saying. I see what, you know, the regular X-Men, you know, the very altruistic, very good side of things. They're like, oh, we have to do this because this is good. And then, you know, we have Cyclops and Magneto, and Cyclops, I understand why you guys is favorite. I knock you guys around, but like, he's like, listen, I've been where you are. I understand that, and I want that, but that's not the real world we live in. And that's something that Magneto's been preaching for a long time. And he knows it the hardest because, you know, everything he's been through, you know, concentration camp, you know, they're going through Nazis, Holocaust survivor. Like, he's seen the darkness in humanity more than probably anybody in this show. In the world.
I mean, like, Cyclops enacted a hit squad.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
And that's the thing too. Like, something else where he did that, and then Logan does the same thing, and gets away with it. Like, I feel like that's such hypocritical. Like, that's
Logan is badass. He's allowed.
That's like, he's allowed because he's cool.
He's
like,
he is.
Well,
cool.
no, he got shit for it.
But he got shit for it.
Yeah, not like Cyclops.
No,
did.
no.
Well, Cyclops didn't get. Well, all right. You mean from the from the X-Men team family themselves?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cause
not from like readers.
No.
Okay.
Readers loved it.
Okay. You talking about readers?
No, I'm talking about
right. Okay. Yeah, because Storm gave she gave both of them a bunch of crap, but they all gave Scott a lot more crap for it. But the guy enacted a hit squad.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
To go after his own son, like that's a man that's down for a cause.
All right, before we go, because we have very few time left.
Cool.
Cyclops, let's say he was alive right now, what would be the next step in his evolution? You know, because all mutants go through and they get stronger as they evolve.
Now,
right now, it's just like his eye beams. Right. What would it be after that?
So you mean evolution power-wise?
Oh, he has tactile telekinesis.
What's that?
Like, his maths. He can, like, that's why...
He can do maths?
Yeah, his eye beams. Like, he can, like, when he fires them, he knows where they're going to go. Like, they can bounce all the shape. He knows that. I think a secondary mutation is tactile telekinesis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really? All right.
That's the end of that.
That's the end of that. And that's the end of this episode of the Pod Stars. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you smash that like button.
You guys will say that.
All right. And as always, I'm Rob.
Make sure you share and
do other things too.
Yeah, do it all the things.
Yeah.
Comment on them, share them, tell your friends.
Smash
sorry,
a little rusty.
Yeah. Smash everything. I'm a little rusty. I'm sorry. We haven't done this in a while. I'm Rob. You're next.
Oh well, yeah. I'm my son. Yeah, still there.
I beat Miguel at Video games.
And that's Miguel. See you next time.